Telegraph.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi, Sam.
Hi. You mentioned having fighters, not victims. Do you have enough of those fighters in this team, do you think?
Yes, I do. But some of them can doubt in any moment, because when you find yourself in this situation, you are tempted to go to the other side and start to say, we're scoring on goals and we cannot play with 10 men and then we don't have the crowd and then the referee made this decision. And I'm sorry, but we don't need any of those.
Is that response, that fighting response, something that can be learned or taught, or is it something that you either have or you don't have, do you think?
I think there are people that are very contagious and can transmit a certain level of energy. And when you have a lot of them, it's very easy. You always have some in one side, some in the middle, and some completely on board. And then you have to drag as many people as you want into your side, to the fighting side, and the ones that they are not interested or they cannot do it, they have to stay behind, because if not, they are pulling the track back.
Yeah. Right at the start, you mentioned some percentages and probabilities without sort of explaining how that all works. Can you give us a rough idea of what that's based on? Is that sort of chance creation and chance quality and those sorts of metrics?
Every possible scenario that can happen in a Premier League match is considered there. What is really affecting results, what is really affecting what happens through the game over 96 minutes. And it works. But then football is not like basketball. In basketball, you shoot 50 times and the opponent does it once and you win every single game. Is a stat. It doesn't work in football like that. You can do the opposite way around and lose 1-0. We lost against Burnley, considering 0 shots on target from the opponent, and we lost it, which is incredible, but it happens in football, unfortunately. And even those things, you have to be able to control them, but it's pretty tricky. But I'm telling you, last year we were winning games with 25% chance of winning, but we are so efficient when you get into this position. And this is football. But if you are constantly on 60s, 70s, long term, you're going to win many more matches. And this is what we have to try to do and believe, sustain that, still improve, because there is always a reason why you don't win it. And that's what we have to change.
Transfer window opens next week, I believe, end of next week. Edu has spoken about the need for a midfielder with creativity. So how far down the line are you in terms of planning for that and being ready for that?
The plan is done. What we wanted to do in January, what we wanted to do in the summer. Sometimes you can do it, sometimes not, depending in a lot of factors. But Edu is dealing with that at the moment. I'm focused with all the games. We don't have much time to spend energy now on that, because it's very clear what we want to do.
Thanks,
just lastly for me, we know that the club had big difficulties in selling players or finding other clubs for players in the summer, that you literally have too many players right now, with obviously 2 not being registered. Will you need to shift some out to get some in?
Again, Sam, my job is to make the most out of this squad, the players that we have. We know what we want to do, and we will try to execute it, knowing that the actual context, market, and what we have been through, it makes it difficult.
Thanks, Mikel. Cheers.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Matt from the Mail, finally.
Hello, Mikel. Hi, Mark. Mikel, why do you think your finishing is so poor? Why is your shot conversion rate not what it was?
I think it's confidence related. When you are in that mood, that when you shoot, the ball goes on the nets, and when it's not happening for you, you are overthinking, or sometimes it's bad luck. Sometimes it's moments that you have to go through, and it's difficult to explain. But what has been sustaining the team in the last few seasons as well is because that conversion rate, where expected goals was much higher than what it was supposed to be, and now it's much lower. So that's a big gap and a lot of points at the end. And we need to completely change that straight away and find ways to score goals even when the opportunities are not that clear, because that's what it gives teams more points and the big teams the opportunity to win a game in any moment.
How do you describe your first year? Do the highs of the trophies make up for the lows of the defeats and runs of form like this?
Talking in general, having gone through probably in the most, well, Ken Friar has been here more than anybody. I think he's been here 70 years. And he said, Mikel, it's not one of the most challenging years in Arsenal history. Believe me, I've been here 70 years. It's the most challenging and difficult year in Arsenal's history. And there I can take a lot of positives and things that we've done, things that we've changed, things that worked, obviously the 2 trophies that we won. But then this is the results now in the Premier League. I take in the gloss of what we've done for sure. And we have to accept that, because there is now a negativity around the team because it's what happened. And we cannot deny that. So I am enjoying a lot the challenge. I still feel so privileged to be here. I will not change anything, any decision. But at the moment we are hurting and we are suffering because we care a lot about this club. We had other ambitions to start the season and it's not going our way. And it's time to fight back, be together and get this club what it deserves.
Does success in this competition lift all that pressure, make it all better, or ultimately, as long as you're in the wrong place in the table, are you dissatisfied? Are you unhappy?
Well, the best medicine again to a team, a club that is not winning, is to win a football match. It doesn't matter any competition. That brings confidence, that brings joy, that brings more belief, and there is nothing else. That talk doesn't change if you keep losing. You know, stats, whatever you want to tell them, it doesn't change. You need to be supported by results, and at the end is what it makes anything stable, possible, and to keep working. If not, it's impossible.
Have you spoken to Pep since you last played Manchester City? And
yes,
does he offer you any support or sympathy? I don't expect he'll do you any favors on the field.
No, he won't, because I know him and he wants to win this competition. But yeah, he's been incredibly supportive all the time. We always talk, we always are in contact, and yeah, he's a really important person in my life, regardless the football, and him and other people that are really close to me. They've been incredibly supportive and giving me a strength and giving me a lot of good advice, I think.
Can I ask you one other thing about Alan Shearer singled out Nicolas Pepe on Saturday's Match of the Day for his work rate and his attitude, and said with attitudes like that you would be in trouble. Is there an attitude problem, and does Shearer have a point about Nicolas, or are you offended when players are criticised in that way?
I would always defend my players. Whatever I have to discuss with them, it will be internally. But Pepe wants to do his best. Pepe is willing to help the team as much as he possibly can. And this is what I'm interested in. My job is to make him better, make him perform better. And if he doesn't, it's my fault.
But is his attitude a good attitude? Nico
is trying his best, and is willing to do that. We all know Nico, and sometimes his body language makes him feel, but he's hurting, he's suffering, believe me, because I'm close with him, and he's trying his best, and he feels the responsibility because he knows why the club brought him here, and he wants to deliver that.
Thank you, Mikel.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.